The Last of Us Season 3, the risky gambit that could ruin the show. If you haven't played The Last of Us Part 2, you might have been a bit confused by the ending of the HBO adaptation's second season. After following Ellie, Bella Ramsey, and Dina, Isabella Merced, on their mission to take down Abby, Caitlin Dever, in Seattle, the Season 2 finale takes a surprising turn. In the final moments, it rewinds to show what Abby was up to when Ellie and Dina first arrived in the city. This twist is a nod to the game's unique storytelling, where players experience the same few days from Abby's perspective after playing through Ellie's journey. It seems like the show is setting up a similar structure for Season 3, with at least part of it focusing on Abby and her story during the same timeline as Season 2. This narrative approach, known as a Rashomon-style rewind, has been used in cinema for decades. It's a bold move by HBO to stay true to the game's distinctive storytelling. However, this perspective switch comes with significant risks. Abby isn't exactly the most beloved character among fans, and showing the same 3 days from 2 different viewpoints back-to-back can be confusing, especially with the production schedule of high-end TV shows like The Last of Us. The gap between seasons could be a real challenge for The Last of Us. The power of a Rashomon story lies in the ability to compare and contrast different perspectives. In this case, Abby's journey during those 3 days in Seattle covers almost entirely different ground than Ellie's. Without major retreads, previously on moments and flashbacks, a lot of the significance of how these two characters intersect may be lost due to the gap between seasons. There's also the matter of viewer interest. Many players of the games disliked playing as Abby because they viewed her as a true villain after her actions against Joel. The game's intention was to put players in the shoes of a vengeance-driven zealot and then push them to see a different side of things. The power there is in the immediacy of the comparison. Most people don't rewatch shows right before a new season comes out, which means that if Season 3 mostly consists of Abby's story, it could feel more like an independent story with none of the characters fans have come to know and love, rather than an intentional juxtaposition to Ellie's journey. Despite the challenges, The Last of Us Season 3 could still be fantastic. Had Season 2 been given the production capacity for 10 episodes instead of 7, it's likely that it could have worked in both character stories at the same time, jumping back and forth in a more traditional manner, or swapping to Abby for the final batch of episodes. The choice not to do that is obviously very intentional. The creative team wants the unique effect of the hard swap. And while that may be tougher to pull off on TV than it was in the game, it is possible that Season 3 could totally nail it. One of the benefits of doing things this way is keeping each season relatively self-contained as far as the core themes and story being told. Season 2 is about Ellie struggling with grief, loss, and rage in the wake of losing someone she had a complicated relationship with. Abby's story, without getting into spoilers, is about institutional loyalty and the breaking points people reach before doing the right thing. By standing firm on those ideas, Season 3 could be a fantastic story in its own right, especially with Dever in the driver's seat. Catch-up montages and intentional dialogue can do a lot to fill in the gaps in people's memory. But even still, this is a huge swing from HBO, and only time will tell if The Last of Us Season 3 can pull it off.